So, you guys want to hear about my first payday, huh?
Now, for many WWE superstars, being a wrestler is their dream job. However, it's not usually their first job. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 WWE wrestlers who had boring jobs before they became a wrestler. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
I don't even know how I got the job. I think it was just a friend of a friend, and I went and had the interview, and I got hired.
Number 10, Brock Lesnar, farmer.
Lesnar's gonna break his arm! He's gonna break his arm! He tapped. Triple H tapped out!
Before Brock Lesnar made the career of being one of the toughest wrestlers in the world as being a UFC World Champion, Lesnar was actually a farmer.
I grew up in Webster, South Dakota, a rural farm community, lots of grain farm. I grew up on a dairy farm.
Although the farmer job is vastly different from him suplexing wrestlers around the ring, it's something that Lesnar loved doing.
I would always like to do the regular farm kid stuff. Some nights it would just be cool to sleep up in the hayloft.
Even now, Lesnar actually lives on a farm and enjoys farming in his spare time. Number 9, Sheamus, IT technician.
Go overboard! John Cena has been defeated by the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus!
Long before Sheamus would become a multi-time WWE champion, he would take on the job as an IT technician. Between the years of 1999 and 2007, Sheamus would work for several IT companies in Dublin. Speaking to Gizmodo, Sheamus revealed this about his former career. You know, the funny thing was with IT, I was never really a tech type of person. I was better with people, good at dealing with people. I had a technical experience, I knew the nitty-gritty. I could never be a programmer or anything, but I knew my way around. Wrestling for me was something I always wanted to do, and working in IT was just a way to get financially looked after. Number 8, Roman Reigns and the Usos, furniture installers.
Attacking. If you're the big dog, Roman Reigns realizes that. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Roman Reigns is now one of the biggest stars in WWE, but before he was main eventing WrestleManias and winning world titles, he and the Usos were actually furniture installers.
And we would throw up these cubicles, right? It would be like you and your brother, y'all have this run. There's 10 cubicles on this run. These two guys got this 10.
Thanks to his NFL career not going to plan, Reigns alongside the Usos took on the job at his sister's business, which revolved around installing furniture in offices across Florida.
The best part was getting off work and literally knowing, like, this has ended. I get to go home and not do this anymore.
Number 7, Luke Harper, librarian. The late great Luke Harper was one of the most popular wrestlers in the locker room.
Do it again! Do it again! Do it again! Yeah! Yeah! You better fall down for soup. Fall down!
However, what many fans and wrestlers didn't know about him was that he used to be a school librarian before he began to train to become a wrestler. He would reveal this on an episode of Talk is Jericho, which even shocked Jericho, who said he would have never have guessed that being a librarian was the job Harper once did for a living. Number 6, Bobby Roode, dishwasher. Before Roode was glorious and one of the most experienced pro wrestlers in WWE, he was actually a dishwasher and janitor.
You know, I was maybe 13 at the time, and, you know, I always enjoyed going to my uncle's restaurant to eat, so he was just put me to work.
Although the job wasn't too glamorous, Roode did reveal that the job made him humble and made him appreciate what he had.
I mean, when you're made to clean toilets at a sports bar, not really the best job in the world.
Number 5, Bella Twins, waitresses.
Here's your winner and the new Divas Champion, Becky Bella!
The Bella Twins are now household names in women's wrestling, and they even have their own reality show called Total Bellas, which has run for over 5 seasons. However, before the Bellas were living a life of luxury, both of them were waitresses at Hooters.
Whenever you were taking the customer's order, so you'd have to lean in and you'd squeeze your cleavage, and then you'd have to be like, well, do you want fries with that?
Luckily, Brie and Nikki were able to get recruited to WWE, and the rest, as they say, is history. Number 4, Enzo Amore, piano mover.
You're freaking right, I'm blessed! Because I am all the way up, and I got the gift of gab and the gift of jab.
Enzo Amore is well known for being a bit of a loudmouth, but before he had a run in WWE, his job was actually a removal man.
More specifically, piano movers, which I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but pianos ain't light.
He would notably move pianos for some of the biggest names in music, and at one point he would even manage to drop Alicia Keys' piano down the stairs. Luckily there wasn't too much damage, and it was unlikely that the famous singer ever found out.
I remember I walked outside and I looked at this mansion and I said to myself, man, I deserve to be living in this mansion.
Number 3, John Cena, limo driver. The ironic part of John Cena's former job was that he destroyed the very thing he once drove for a living.
There is no way this thing is going to pass inspection.
Before Cena was one of the biggest names of all time, he was actually a limo driver.
JTG, do you see a passenger side mirror?
If you recall, Cena once destroyed JBL's limo on Raw in 2008 as part of their feud. Cena also worked in a gym for a short period before he ascended to the top of WWE.
John Cena has just equaled the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Sweet 16 for John Cena.
Number 2, AJ Styles, water deliverer.
I decided to deliver water instead of working with WCW back in 2000 because I was making the same amount of money to train to be a WCW rep.
When AJ Styles was struggling to make ends meet when he was training to become a wrestler, he would do numerous jobs including mowing lawns, delivering water containers, and he also drove an ambulance. AJ managed to get the money together and he would eventually become one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And number 1, Becky Lynch, air hostess.
Because in 2018, I wasn't just aiming to overtake Charlotte on the posters and the billboards. I was aiming for you too, John.
The man Becky Lynch is now solidified as one of the most successful women wrestlers of all time, but before she would main event WrestleMania,
I think Becky Lynch is telling us the exact story we need to see. The man is now the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion.
she would actually be an air hostess.
And that was probably my first serious job, the first time that I felt like I had a strict routine.
Interestingly, this was the same job that Becky's mother did. As soon as Becky had enough money saved up to train to wrestle, the air hostess job was put behind her and she would begin her ascension to the top of women's wrestling. Well, there you have it folks, 10 wrestlers who had boring jobs before becoming a wrestler. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.